Hey, I bought the Jeep Gladiator Mohave 2021. Very excited. Hey, in this video, we're going to do a quick walk around. Hey, if you like this kind of content, go ahead and hit that like button for the algorithm and hit the subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell to be notified of new content. Let's go ahead and get started. YouTube, this is Robert from Sherburne Outdoors. Hey, today we're going to be talking about the new 2021 Jeep Gladiator Mohave edition that I purchased. I did a video last week. It was snowing. Today it's a little bit warmer. It's about 40 degrees here in outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and Canton, Georgia. And I thought I would just kind of walk around. I know we did the video on me shopping for this, but this is all about me now that I bought it. I was going to do a video of the whole buy process, but that was going to be too complicated, and I ended up doing it pretty quickly, actually. So in this one, we're just going to kind of do a walk around, and again, a couple reasons why I chose the Mohave over the Rubicon is I did a lot of research, a lot of videos, and I actually ended up driving a Rubicon as well. And I thought the Mohave, because it's going to be my everyday drive, handled a little bit better on the road. And I'm not going to get into this crazy rock crawling where I'm going to need the sway bars and all this articulation. And what I'm going to be using this for with trails and deep camping and maybe even going out west and stuff, this is actually ideal for. It's got a little bit bigger lift. So what I thought we'd do is kind of walk through it a little bit. So I actually traded in a car. So these things are ungodly expensive right now. I think in the video last time I had it listed at $68,000 was the list. It came with a lot of options that we'll talk about. I did a trade-in. Shockingly, my trade-in, I got what I paid for it 4 years ago. So as expensive as these things are, used cars have gone up dramatically in price as well. So I got out of here with about a $30K loan, all netted out, everything. So pretty happy with that. This thing has every option on it except for a front-facing camera. Got a lot of things that we're going to be adding on it. There's going to be a lot of videos in the future. But I tell you what, let's just kind of let me flip behind the camera and we'll just do a walk around, kind of just get an inside look. We looked at it last time on the outside. Let's look at all the different pieces now. We'll pull up the bed and everything and walk through it. Okay, let's go. All right, first things first. So this is the Mohave, and it does have on the front, which is different than the stock. It doesn't have the painted front grille. It's actually got the Mopar matte black front grille on it. It's very aggressive. I like it a lot. Again, we talked about it last week a little bit. Don't particularly care for this bumper, and it is probably going, I'll probably put a winch. That's going to be one of the upgrades I'm going to do here in the future, but that's we'll open up the engine and look inside in a bit. But if we just look around, some differences. So this did come with Wild Peak multi-terrain mud tires. These are 33s. These came from the factory. The other thing it has inside of here is about an inch to inch and a half lift kit above the Rubicon, but it also has these crazy Fox shocks. You can see it right there, and if you get down in there, you can see where the front reservoir is for the bypass. Crazy amount of stuff. And then this also has a crazy skid plate under here as well. So lots of protection built in. Got some video rolling right next to here. where I kind of drove over the bottom so you can see it as well, so there's a lot of protection under there. But as you go along, love this badging, this orange color with this sting gray, which is what this is, and they actually did an additional coat over it at the dealership, like the desert badging, but this orange just pops, like the outlining of the Jeep logo here, looks pretty good. So some other things that we've got inside of here is as options that were added on. I didn't have the option to add it, but it was included, are these Mopar rock rails. They're about a $1,000 adder. Really, that was a must for me. I don't know that I'm going to be using them a lot. I like how they look, but they add a lot of structural integrity if I do kind of bottom out on things out in the woods. The windows are tinted out, and then if you look at the top here, I did go with the triple pane option for the hard top. So this did come with a soft top as well. I tried to get them to remove it, but they wouldn't because it came from the factory. But I am going to sell it. I got a brand new Mopar soft top that came in the truck bed. Here's a picture up in the right. When you buy them, they come in the back here. So I'm actually probably just going to sell that on Craigslist because I have no need for it. I don't anticipate me ever using a soft top. If I am going to take the top off, I'm going to leave it in the garage for the day and put some kind of bikini top on. But I will come back to this because I like the way this sounds. And we'll do a drive here in a bit. Maybe go out on the freeway and just kind of drive around so you can kind of hear it, because it sounds great. There are no issues with driving. There's no extra sound. It sounds like a regular old car. Again, on the back here, we got the 33s, heavy lift. They tell me these will accept 35s without any additional lifts needed. And you can see here the shock along with the reservoir on the side there. One quick gripe about this: I've got all of this black all over this car, but we've got these lug nuts that are silver. I actually purchased some things that are coming, and we'll be getting that taken care of very shortly. So I did buy, this did come with the blind spot monitoring package as well as the park assist on the back. And then as we come around, you can see I've got the hard trifold, which works fabulous. It is great. I'm really happy about this. And then we've got in the back here, we got again the outline Jeep. Good bumper. I did go with the trailering package with the 4 and the 7 pin. And then you got your heavy duty recoveries. Again, that orange theme kind of floating through. You got your backup camera right here. And I love this soft drop on the gate. So a couple other options. Let me open up the tonneau cover here. And it's as simple as just coming in here, pulling this down and lifting up. And you can just kind of keep going. So I do have a couple options in the back bed that also came with it, but obviously they charge you. The first one is the spray-in bed liner. This was a must for me. I didn't want to go without it. I thought this was very important for me. First, it looks awesome, and second, it was very functional. I don't want a scratched up bed. Obviously, I've got the hard top tonneau cover that comes with this, the trifold from Mopar, and then also inside of here, you've got the trail rail system for Mopar. You can see down there, there's some hooks that go along with this. I've got bed lights built in, LED bed lights. And then also, this was a must for me too, is I wanted power in the bed. I saw a kid on trying to hook this up after the fact, and it looked miserable. So I'm actually going to do over the next, and there's tie down hooks here, and then there's 2 more up in the front. And then you've got some water drains coming down from the trifold Mopar hard cover. We'll see if those work. I haven't tested that out yet. But then this is really simple. Once you're done, you just you close your gate, you come up and grab your piece, and you can see the latches right there, and they just come down into here. And so now it's secure. You're not going to pry that up. It's hard. We'll test out the reliability on the rain of it as it goes along. Again, we got our sensing here on the side. I do have a manual rear window, and the back is tinted as well. It just looks so good. One other option that we did go through is we did go with the painted fenders. This was kind of important to me. I wanted it as it went along. I just thought it looked all great as one color. And so just moving along, God, there's just so much. It's just so pretty. So I love all the accents. If we look, let's just start in the back seat, kind of take a look. We just kind of come in here, look around. There's plenty of room. Love this kind of like aircraft carrier option they've got right here. And then underneath it here, I've got a 115 plug, and then there's 4 USB ports back here, just the regular ones and the C-type as well. And then you've got your window controls and air back here. Underneath of the seats, I did opt out for the storage. So this is lockable storage, and it's on the other side as well. Got a recovery kit in here and some other options that came with it also. Again, it's fully loaded. One thing I did not expect that came with it was, if we pull down the seat, was this Bluetooth speaker. Now, I wasn't sure I was really into this when it first came because it was 300 bucks and I didn't have an option to buy it, but it's a Jeep one. It actually powers in and you can pop it in there, and it's actually kind of cool. Supposedly it's weatherproof, we'll see. But yeah, so I was kind of jazzed when I saw how that there we go. All right, and then you got a strap here to pull it out. So, and then you got some car seats and stuff. My kids are too old to worry about tethering of car seats. And then you got your manual rear window back here, and then it's had all the defrost built into it as well. And let's kind of walk around a little bit more. And just looks great. Again, we've got the blind sign monitoring is built in as well to show up in the mirrors as you're going around, and LED everywhere. So I did go with LED headlights. Obviously it was included in the package. It wasn't something that I was looking for, but I don't, you know, in 2022 I can't believe everything's not LED as well. The other thing up here is we do have the advanced cruise control. We'll kind of look at that in a minute when we get inside, but it's in this box up top. So there's not anything in the front here. It's actually located right behind the mirror. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and get inside and look around a little bit and maybe start her up. So one other option that it came with was the proximity. So if I just put my hand in here, you heard it unlock, and I've got it tuned to unlock all of the locks. Just open it up so I don't have to pull the key fob out, which is this is the Jeep key fob. It's a little bit bigger than I had on the Grand Cherokee, but it's pretty good. Got unlock, lock. It's got remote start and then panic. We'll hit the remote start in a minute, and maybe I'll put the camera back there so you can see how this thing sounds, because it sounds freaking awesome. And then I've actually got the Uconnect app up here hooked to this, where you can actually take that and I can start it if I'm nowhere near. And I know I'm going to be out in my car in 10 minutes. I want it warmed up, but maybe I'm not close enough for the key fob to work. I can actually start it from satellite. It works really, really good. So let's walk in. When we first come in, it is a little bit of a step up. You've got some handles to get in. It's got this beautiful kind of burnt orange, almost like, as much as I don't like them, the University of Texas color, but this kind of continues on with this Mojave. I've got all leather interior stitching. This also was another must for me, was to get a full one, and then it's got the Mojave stitching all throughout. It's just so pretty. And if you look around, it's built into the emergency brake, your shifting, everything. So let's just kind of step into this thing and take a look around, because it's pretty sweet. Now, obviously, you got your hearing steering wheel. We got adaptive cruise here. All the options that you can have, they're here. Let me just fire this thing up. So again, it's push start. Sounds great. You kind of get your Easter eggs in here. You get your Jeep Sense this, and it kind of comes across. And then over here is our infotainment system as well. But it's great. It's got some inside here. You got different settings you can do. You can kind of go up and down through them to get vehicle information. I'm going to have some more videos that talk about this stuff individually, but I thought I would just kind of walk everybody through a kind of a high level version today. If we look at here, this does come with the 8.4 inch, and it is pretty sweet. Very clear. And it's got a lot of apps built into it, satellite radio, CarPlay automatically hooks up to it. You know, you can come over here and look at your various like off-road pages. These are great. I love these. It's got this cute little Jeep that's going to come across as this loads up. Got a lot of information up here on heated seats, heated steering wheel when it first starts up. You know, it's 36 degrees outside. So boom, our little Jeep goes by, another little nugget. But this is great. You know, I'm sitting pretty good right now on my pitch and roll in this parking lot I'm at. But you know, you got your accessory gauges. This isn't new, but it is really cool, and I am really looking forward to maybe utilizing this out in the woods, but not craziness. Now this is one thing I've started liking automatically. It does have the analog switches here, and I will tell you, I used to come in here to climb it and have to hit the various things in the Grand Cherokee because they weren't here. I like having them here. The window stuff, all of the steering wheel, the heated seats, having that information right at your fingertips is really great. You obviously got your, you can turn things up, you can turn things down, and then you've got your tuning for your radio and volume here. It does have the auto start stop here. I didn't like this in the Grand Cherokee. It's much less cumbersome in the Gladiator, I find. You know, you got traction control, you got kind of crawling distance, and then you can turn off the parking sensors in the back. Like if you, like for me, I'll have the motorcycle in the back on a trailer at some point in time, and that kind of gets in the way. You know, all your window controls are down here. It does have some media. I can't believe it has an aux, but it does. And then you got a USB-C and another USB here, which is great. This thing's fully loaded with USBs. You got a 12-volt kind of cigarette option here. There are some things that I use that do require that. We got our axle lockers down here. One difference from this and the Rubicon is I can only lock the rear axle. I can't do the front, and I don't have a sway bar disconnect. So that is one of the differences here, which is fine for me. I don't think I would utilize those. And I do have Off-Road Plus, which will allow this to go a little bit faster in an off-road situation. That's kind of for the the desertness of this for the Mojave. And then this was something I really wanted, was the aux switches. That's why another reason I went with the fully loaded system. I watched some guys try to hook this up, and it looked just painful as well. So I didn't want to do any of that. So I already have, what, 2 or 3 of these are going to be full up already with the winch, and then with some LEDs on the top. Another little Jeep Easter egg here, but I did go with the automatic transmission. I am not hooked into to shifting, but this is hooked to an 8-speed transmission, and then you've got your 2 high, your 4 high, your neutral, and then your 4 low for all your pieces. Good little bar here, and then obviously, it's got the Jeep vent system and stuff. Up here was what I was talking about earlier on the outside. This is where the adaptive cruise control is, and then you've got all your SOS and pieces, and then the garage door. One other thing I did was get the kind of the noise reduction / insulation package they have here, where they put these black shields kind of in the top. I got them there, and then they're in the back as well. And this thing has an upgraded stereo system. You got speakers up here, there, and then in the top right here, and they sound great. And then you got your freedom panels up top here. So this is kind of the basics of it. Why don't we jump out, look under the hood, and then maybe do a remote start, and then we'll kind of go out. Later in time, I'm going to do another review on the Uconnect and some other aspects of programming these things up, even the garage door. So let's take a look outside. All right, so this is it's funny, this doesn't have a hood latch on the end, so you still got these old ones here with your latches, and it comes down and you hold it up with a bar. But this is your standard Pentastar 3.6 liter V6. I think it's got 285 horsepower and like 265, 270 on torque. This is the same engine that they've been using for years. I think we're on a couple gens into it now. It's what I had in my Grand Cherokee, and I love it. It's good for 200 to 300,000 miles. Pretty simple gas engine. At least in the Cherokee, I never ever put above 87 in it. So pretty simple. I like it, and it's nice and clean in here. Kind of easy to get to things. Obviously you got your various fluids, and changing the oil is pretty easy inside of here as well for the mechanics when they get inside of here. But this is kind of simple and kind of easy. Just wanted to open this up and let everybody see what it was. All right, and so the exhaust is underneath of here, but if we go and we just hit this 2X, it'll auto kind of our remote start. It sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Nice and quiet. It's not too loud. Just kind of hums along. So I tell you what, let's take it for a lap and kind of hear how it sounds on the inside. So let's take this thing for just kind of a little street drive around. You can kind of get an idea for how it works on some of the roads here. We'll spend just a couple seconds going down here, and then we'll go hit the freeway and just kind of get out in the open. You can kind of hear how it sounds with a lot of wind against it. It is just great. I'm so happy with this purchase. Let's get started. So this is a pretty simple drive. I mean, it's just like the other stuff. You got your tack and everything here, and then I've got Apple CarPlay going. But let's let's kind of get it going. Let's put it in drive and let's get where we're going. It's got great pickup. Handles these speed bumps like it's nothing. So it's got great pickup coming out of the gate here. Just jumping down, kind of getting moving. Obviously this thing's not a Corvette, but it has good power. This is that, again, there's just the V6. It's not the diesel. They didn't have the diesel available in the Mojave, or I probably would have gotten it. But this thing reminds me of driving like a Tahoe. And I think the extra wheelbase on here versus a Wrangler is really helpful in the stability. And again, with this shock system that the Mojave has, additional above and beyond what's in the Rubicon, it just drives really, really well. I wouldn't say it handles on road as good as my Grand Cherokee, but I tell you, this thing's really, really nice. I thought it was going to be a lot louder in here. We're doing 49 right now, and I assume you can hear me just fine. So it's good. So I tell you what, let's kind of go ahead and get down to the freeway here really fast, and then we'll kind of open her up, get her up to about 80, and kind of get an idea what the sounds are. All right, let's go ahead and start getting on the freeway, hitting an on-ramp, and this thing is just boom. Nope, no issues with power. Kind of hear it get going here. And it just rides so good. I was worried the interior here would sound like, you know, like an air compressor with a cooler, but it just sounds like a regular car. So we're up to about 65 now. Kind of bump it up here to about 80 as we move along. But it's just nice and quiet. Runs really well. I'll do some other videos on some other options inside of here when you're driving, like adaptive cruise control and other aspects of it in the future. But just nice and smooth. Lots of power. And up to 75, 76. So you just kind of hear it going down the road. It sounds great. So hey, I want to thank everybody for the time, for sitting through this and being a subscriber to the channel. I am very excited, as you can tell. This is actually the first video I've ever done this face-to-face while driving. Kind of like it, actually. I might do more of this. It saves a lot of time. But so this is going to be the first in a whole series of videos on this Mojave, both in making upgrades to it, and modification, setting it up with the rooftop tent, overlanding, a variety of things. Still going to be doing a lot of the dirt biking. This is just going to help along with that, with the overnight stays and some other things. We can get a little deeper in the trails up into Tennessee. So look forward to a bunch more videos. Hey, if you like this kind of content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click that like button for the algorithm, and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified of new content. Thanks everybody for your time, and I appreciate everybody subscribing to the channel. Thanks a lot. Bye.